Hi, I'm Cynthia from Dtravel, and this is 26 Questions with Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia. Thank you for taking the time to join us today for the 26 Questions interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited.
Cool. Let's get this started. Can you tell us about the vision behind Dtravel and why are you launching it?
So our mission at Dtravel is essentially to create a world where every person is empowered to be an active owner in the future and the success of the sharing economy. So we actually believe that with Web 3.0 technologies, we can fix a lot of the problems that exist in the current home sharing economy. And we basically want to build out the next evolution of home sharing, where everybody who participates can get ownership and a vote. So that was sort of the impetus behind us launching it and our mission.
What is the background of your project team? Do you think the team's qualifications and experience are able to support the long-term development of the project?
Yes, absolutely. So our team at Genesis Partners, which is one of the teams contributing to Dtravel, our team is actually one of our strongest assets. So we have about 50 contributors right now, which includes our tech team and our leads. And our leads are all essentially subject matter experts in their area, and they've had a lot of experience and expertise in the home sharing and travel and blockchain and crypto industries. And so they've actually helped build some of the largest companies that you've probably heard of. And then we also have blockchain experts such as Bruno Paleo, who was formerly at Cardano, who he basically wrote the white paper for Cardano. So you'll be familiar with that. And then we also have a team of all-star advisors who have been pioneers in the travel industry, like the co-founder of Booking.com, the founder of Picasa, and other blockchain projects that you'll probably be aware of. And so honestly, our team is really just one of our strongest assets. And I think that we have a team that's incomparable when you compare it to any other project in terms of the level of experience and expertise that they have. So I'm very confident that in terms of the long run, we're set up for success there.
All project tokens have their main utilities and real-life use cases. Can you tell us what the main role of your token is in the ecosystem?
Yes, the TRVL token basically centers around 4 main areas. So those are travel, loyalty, governance, and protection. So for travel, that means that guests can pay with crypto and then hosts can accept crypto, which includes our TRVL native token as well. In terms of loyalty, these are basically onboarding initiatives and incentives for hosting guests. And it includes our Support to Earn program, where we basically allow community members to trade their time and expertise in exchange for rewards for contributing to the growth of Dtravel. Governance is a really huge part of Dtravel and our DAO. So all TRVL token holders can participate in governance by holding it, and then they can also vote on proposals that influence how the Dtravel platform is managed. So that's really, really big part of what sets Dtravel apart. And then finally, on the protection side, so one of these aspects is the protection pool. So all hosts get access to a $1 million USD protection pool that covers property damage for stays that are booked on Dtravel. And then we also have other, what we call protection mechanisms, just to ensure that people who are using the platform are also aligned with the long-term interests of the ecosystem. So that means, for example, that they have to stake a minimum of 25 TRVL to be using the platform. So those are kind of the 4 areas that are the utility for TRVL today.
Why in the world of travel? What makes Dtravel DAO apart from others about travel?
Yeah, so we want to build Dtravel specifically because the contributors and advisors of Dtravel really believe in building this new kind of home sharing. One where the community members are the people who actually get to own and to influence the platform because they're the ones who are using it the most. I've actually been a host in the home sharing space for over 7 years, and I've also run a community there, and I've heard from hundreds of hosts through various channels. And I know that one of the things that were core to the concept of home sharing is community. But the problem is that we've moved very far away from that, and the home sharing space isn't really about community anymore. And so that's what we actually want to do differently. We want to give the community members ownership. And we believe by doing that, we're actually going to move the home sharing space away from sort of these like transactional stays and more about connecting with people all over the world in the Dtravel ecosystem, and also making it more about a relationship and about that community. In terms of what sets Dtravel apart is that we obviously leverage Web3 technologies. So that includes both the token and the DAO. And the important part of that is that we want to enable community ownership and contribution. So for every person who holds the TRVL token, they get to vote on different proposals. And then also what we want to do is reward the community for participating and contributing to the growth. So we have programs like Support to Earn that basically allows any member in the community to contribute, and then they get rewarded in tokens. So they can do things like help out with support tickets, they can do host onboarding or host education. So there's going to be a lot of things there that's really centered around the community and bringing people in. Yeah, so these are sort of some of the things that we're starting with, but there will definitely be more. And we're really excited to also bring in the community to suggest additional ways that we can continue to improve as well.
For project development, the main priority is having enough funds. Is your team financially capable to run this project? Do you have enough funds for this development? Also, can you tell us how your project generates profit?
Yeah, definitely. So we've raised a $7 million seed raise from top tier investors like Huobi Ventures, Kinetic Capital, AU21, and Shima Capital, just to name a few. And then I think one thing that does make us unique is that we have a very clear business model where we generate revenue from booking fees. A lot of projects that start out in crypto, they don't have a clear business model from the beginning. But for us, we've done a lot of modeling out in the next few years to figure out where we think our demand is going to be and then what kind of revenue that's going to generate. And then to support that as well, we have a lot of growth initiatives, both on the community side and the marketing side, to drive that demand so that we can continue driving up revenue and make ourselves more sustainable.
What challenges does Dtravel face right now while the blockchain market is still young and needs time to grow?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think that with all of the projects in the blockchain and crypto space, this is always something that is an issue, which is that the market and the industry is just really nascent, right? I've been in it since 2017, and obviously it's come a long way, but I think we're still very, very early on, and the tooling is much better and is the best that it's ever been. But again, I think to get to mainstream adoption, we really need to make it really easy and seamless for non-crypto natives to use it. And so that's really going to be a big focus for us, because we want to make it really easy for anybody to use TRVL and to vote using TRVL, because those are core to our value proposition and what makes us different. And luckily, I mentioned our team earlier, we have really talented and experienced product managers and product designers and user experience designers who I think will help us a lot with solving this problem. They have a lot of experience in the home sharing space specifically and understand that host and guest experience. So I think they will be able to really guide us through making that experience seamless, so that regardless of your knowledge and experience with crypto, it's really easy for you to both use TRVL for payments and then also vote with the DAO. And then finally, education is obviously really huge in the crypto space, and it's going to be huge for us. So we're going to, one, be making sure that we have a lot of educational events and resources for the community. But then since we are community driven and led, we want to make sure that we're leveraging the community to help with this as well, because obviously for anybody who's already in the community, who's been in the blockchain crypto space and who you love travel or have home sharing experience, they're sort of the best people to go out and teach others. So we definitely want to leverage that expertise and our community that way.
Can you explain the purpose of protection pool as mentioned in a white paper, and how will it function for our guests incurring damages which are beyond the settlement?
Protection pool basically gives hosts $1 million USD for property damage for stays that are booked on Dtravel. And when we launch the booking platform and when TRVL launches, we basically will give the protection pool $1 million upfront. And then additionally, 1% of all booking fees will get added to the protection pool so that our hosts continue to have enough coverage. And what's really exciting and different is that because we are a Web 3.0 company or project, we can actually use DeFi strategies to grow that protection pool over time, so that both as Dtravel grows and we allocate more booking fees to the protection pool will also grow through these DeFi strategies. So I think that's something that really is unique and no one's done that before. So really excited for some of these new things that we're creating.
As a decentralized autonomous organization, are there staking networking opportunities for Dtravel investors?
Right now, currently not, but any initiatives and programs like this will be shared in our community groups as they become available. So I do highly encourage everybody to join our community groups for updates.
What makes your project unique from other blockchain projects?
So one of the things that we talk about all the time in blockchain and crypto is this idea of mass adoption, right? How do we bring 1 billion people into crypto? And one of the problems with mass adoption is that really the projects are geared towards like a niche audience, and a lot of the products and services right now in crypto are difficult to use. And the difference with us, I think, is that because we're a home sharing platform, anyone, whether they know how to use crypto or not, can actually use Dtravel to book their next vacation or stay. So automatically, we're bringing in a lot of people into crypto that have never used crypto or might never think to use crypto. And this also gets them more familiar with the concept of using cryptocurrency, because we give 1% back in rewards for every booking. And what we'll be doing is building out an in-app wallet that makes it really easy for people to use those TRVL from their rewards for future bookings. And so even if you never want to use crypto, or even if you don't know how to use crypto and have no interest in learning, although we hope that everybody will, anyone can use our in-app wallet and pay using TRVL. So again, the intention here is to make it really easy and seamless for anybody, anywhere to use it. And hopefully over time, as you get more familiar with crypto, then you'll start to become more crypto native and also get more people into crypto too.
Please share with us your investors and partners that you can disclose. And are there any plans for partnerships with other projects?
Yeah, so Dtravel is backed by top tier VCs, as I mentioned, like Goldie Ventures, Kinetic, NGC Ventures, Gate Ventures, and AU21, among others. We also recently announced our strategic partnership with Triplercom, where TRVL will be incorporated as a payment option, and triplercom. And then we also announced a partnership a couple of months ago with 2 property management companies, Ministry of Villas and In Residence. We're working on a lot of announcements actually over the next few months, so definitely stay tuned. We're pretty excited about some of the partnerships that we have in the pipeline.
What other coins would you accept other than TRVL in future?
So for us, as I mentioned a couple of times, the booking experience, we want that to be really seamless, and part of that seamless experience is identifying what payment options are going to be best for our community. So likely we'll get community feedback to see what other people in the community actually want. So that I think is an open question, but yeah, definitely I think it makes sense for us to be adding additional payment options in the future.
In which aspects is Dtravel better than other home sharing companies? If they accepted Bitcoin or any other coin payment, how is Dtravel different?
Yeah, that's actually a really great question. So I want to make it really clear that we're really not just a travel or a home sharing platform that accepts cryptocurrency payments. What we're building is just fundamentally different. So using blockchain and Web 3.0 technologies, we are building a community-led and community-owned home sharing ecosystem that really at its core relies on community involvement for us to be successful. So everything we're doing is really centered around community. For example, how we differ from other projects in the space is that traditionally, as a company grows, they grow and scale by hiring more people. And for us instead, what we plan to do is allow community through our Support to Earn program, so that instead of hiring more people, just having our community members contribute and get rewarded instead. And so it sort of serves 2 purposes, where we can scale, but then we're decentralizing by involving our community so that they become a core part of our operations, and then they benefit from that as well. And so, I think really we're just creating a completely new paradigm and changing how members that use a platform actually interact with the platform. So I think it's fairly difficult to compare us against another platform that just decides to accept cryptocurrency, because fundamentally we're just building something completely different.
As we know, it is a challenge in the Web 3.0 landscape to find ways to reward those who contribute to a DAO. How will Dtravel DAO solve this issue and reward the contributors and supporters?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, involving the community from the beginning is something that we intend to do. And so our initiatives like the Support to Earn program, which allows community members to contribute their time and expertise and get rewarded in turn, those are things that we're going to implement from the beginning. And it will allow us to track contributions as well, which, as you mentioned, is a little bit difficult to do right now in the DAO space. And then the other side of that too is that the community space and the community industry is something that's a thriving, growing industry today. And I think that we can learn a lot from it. So one of the things that we want to do is set up a community operations lead who will work with the community to set up programming so that basically over time, the community will run that. And it's really clear how to participate and how to get rewarded. We know that we have a lot of community members who have a lot of skills, and we want to make sure that we're encouraging people to help Dtravel grow by using those skills. And with some of these programs like the Support to Earn, then I think that is really having those programs in place will make it really clear for everyone as to how they can actually contribute.
How is Dtravel DAO and triplercom going to complement each other? What are the perks each project receives with this partnership with Tripler?
So Tripler is obviously a really successful crypto travel company. Anybody who's been following them has seen that with the rebound in travel, they've seen some tremendous growth. And because we're both in the travel space, there's obviously going to be a lot of synergies between our two projects. So our partnership will basically enable Tripler travelers over the long run to get access to home sharing listings in addition to the hotels that Tripler provides. And then it will also allow both communities, both Tripler and Dtravel, to book this end-to-end experience with their travel, from flights to accommodations to travel experiences. And the first thing that we're starting this partnership off with is that Tripler will integrate TRVL as a payment option. We expect that we'll have more announcements over collaboration areas in the coming months.
How important is the community to you, and how can we collaborate or help you for the development of the project?
So I was actually asked in a recent MEXC AMA what the one word is that I'd use to describe Dtravel. And for me, that's community, hands down. So community is at the heart of everything that we do and who we're building with. So over the next few months, we'll be sharing more initiatives for how the community can get involved, and we can't wait to share those announcements with everybody. So in the meantime, I think the most important thing to help us is think about using Dtravel for your next vacation, as we are live for bookings. And if anybody you know is traveling, be sure to have them check out Dtravel as well.
How do you plan to spread awareness about your project in different countries where English is not spoken well?
So again, this is where we're really going to lean on our community to help with this. We have an incredible community of people who believe in the same vision for home sharing that we have, and who are also passionate about crypto. So we'll have initiatives where we have advocates basically champion their area and help to grow out their different areas and communities as well. And we really want people in these communities to help build those communities, because they're the ones who know their communities best, and they also have the most impact because this is where they live. So they should be able to get a say and be a part of building out that community and that vision as well with us.
Building and giving trust to the community is one of the toughest challenges because of the many frauds and crimes happening in crypto today. How can you solve this problem and convince people to use Dtravel?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think when you're building community, trust is obviously at the core of everything that you do, right? Because without trust, you can't build community. And then without trust, you can't build a home sharing platform or ecosystem. And I think there's sort of 4 ways that we're really paying attention to this that I want to highlight. So first, as I mentioned earlier about the protection pool, this is something that we're using to address trust right off the bat, because we want to make sure that hosts feel like they have peace of mind to host guests from all over the world. And so they'll get $1 million in that protection pool. Secondly, we have team members who have worked for many years in regulations, trust, and safety. And so we're thinking of these issues from the very beginning and figure out how we can mitigate or even completely remove them. So we're basically investing into this area, which we know is going to be very, very important for our community, but then also for any stakeholders like cities and local communities that our hosts are in, and then our guests travel to. Third, communities are obviously most loved by the people who live there because they are, vested in that community. And so that means that as a DAO, because we have the benefit of being able to lean our community, we will definitely be leaning on our community to help with this and to flag bad actors and help us in this trust and safety mission as well. And then fourth, so our team is very visible. We're very transparent about who our contributors and advisors are. And I know that there are some projects in the the crypto space who are anonymous, whereas we're super open and we're really, really proud of our team and their experience as well, because we know that when you have a team that is working on such an ambitious goal, they have to have the knowledge and experience to make this successful. And so I think that knowing that we've really invested heavily in our team who has the experience and knowledge to execute on this really ambitious mission, I think that goes towards a long way towards reassuring the community that we're really serious about what we're doing and that we're here for the long haul to achieve this vision of the DAO, which is, a very, very long-term vision, like, 10, 20 plus years. So these are sort of a few of the ways that trust and safety are things that we're focusing on right from the beginning, and we'll continue to share how we're evolving this as well, and we'll be enlisting the community. So yeah, definitely this is a huge topic for us and something that we'll continue to prioritize and invest in.
Which big exchanges are you planning to launch your token first?
So we're launching on MEXC, obviously, Bybit, and then Gates.
What is the next decision of your project according to the roadmap? And what do you think will change your project if this decision is fully implemented?
So obviously the DAO is huge to what we're doing. It's basically at the core of our mission and vision. And so we're working very hard on tools that will help with DAO governance. And obviously our booking platform and our community is really core to what we're doing as well. So we're working on adding additional important features that serve both hosts and guests. One of the things that we really do want to do differently is that we just don't want to just build another booking platform. We really want to build something that meets the needs of our community. And so we're going to be involving the community in our roadmap and asking them for feedback on what they think we should build next. So again, I think I sound like a broken record on this, but everything that we do, we want to involve the community in.
All right, last question. Do you have any social media channels, and which are the links that you can share with our community so that we can make sure to follow you and be kept up to date on your progress?
So we have a community on Telegram, Twitter, Medium, and Instagram, and then all the links will be in the description box below. So make sure to follow us, and we have a lot of exciting updates coming soon, so definitely don't want to miss out.
Thank you for answering 20 questions from the community. Now it is your turn to ask our fans 6 questions. Do you have the 6 questions ready?
I do.
All right, let's begin.
So number 1, what are the 4 primary use cases for TRVL within Dtravel? Number 2, what % of every booking transaction is allocated to the protection pool? Number 3, what are the 3 different DAO funds? Number 4, what's the DAO's governance structure? And I'll give you a hint, there are 4 structures. Number 5, how many TRVL tokens are we giving away in community rewards? This one's awesome. So again, make sure you check out our Medium because we have all of the information there. And then finally, number 6, what is our support to earn initiative?
That was an awesome session. Thank you for the questions. We hope you guys like the interview session with Cynthia. For fans whose questions are selected, please claim your rewards as per the instructions in the description box below. And for those who want to win extra USDT, simply answer the 6 questions that Cynthia had asked. Comment your answers in the comment section below and we will pick 6 lucky winners. Once again, thank you so much for coming on to our show, Cynthia. Till the next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Bye!
Thanks so much. Bye.